What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Informed Trader. My name is Chris, and every day on this channel we try to inform you as to what is going on in the stock market, different opportunities that present themselves, so that way you can get the most out of the money you're investing. All I ask is that you would consider hitting that subscribe button, like the video, turn on the bell notification so you don't miss a video. I'm not a professional, not a financial advisor. This is obviously for entertainment purposes only. And I'm just an average guy with an average income, just trying to do my best to make the most out of my money and help you along the way. So, let's get into it. Today's video, we're talking about a stock that I believe is truly undervalued, has been shorted, has seen recent rise, but has much more potential and is super low risk in entering. At the very least, it's a long-term hold. With recent news, it could be a good swing trade, but I purchased for the long. I'll go ahead and show you my position. In the stock would be Ford Motor. All right, so obviously you know Ford has been around for a long time. Let's go ahead and take a look at my position here. I currently own 40 shares. All right, so total cost was $469 for me. I'm currently sitting negative $3 on my position. I bought in way too high yesterday with 27 shares at a cost of $11.89, I want to say. And then today I was able to average down a little bit. I'd still like to average down. I'd like to own 100 shares, to be honest, but this is all I could do for the time being. So that is my position in this stock. Now let's go ahead and look at the 1 month chart for this real quick. All right, so it looks like the results were good after their last earnings. Okay, it's peaked trying to touch that $12 mark and came back down. And here we are again. Obviously, the stock market's been red. In the last 5 days, it's kind of held its ground. It was one of the only stocks that were green yesterday in my portfolio. But today, obviously, it dropped drastically for a little bit, came back up, and is holding strong in the mid $11 range. All right, so why am I bullish on Ford? Why did I go ahead and invest in this, and why do I want to accumulate more? All right, first things first. So looking at this article, it says, why is Ford stock so cheap? Ford is the second largest automaker in the U.S. and among the top 10 in the world. All right, and it still currently holds that position. It has several bestsellers in its portfolio, including the F-150 pickup, America's best-selling pickup for decades. Although the company is launching an all-electric F-150, Ford stock has been cheaper than newbie EV stocks. However, there are some reasons Ford stock is so cheap. Ford has lost market share, and sometimes deliberately. The company ditched sedans in the U.S. as they have narrow margins. It has also been losing market share in China, the world's largest automotive market. Furthermore, Ford's gross profits margins and absolute gross profit have been shrinking. In 2016, the company posted a gross profit of $16.8 billion with a margin of 11.1%. However, in 2019, its gross profit fell to $12.8 billion and its margin shrank to 8.3%. Ford's international operations are slowing and it has huge debt. Markets don't like combustion cars anymore but love EV stocks. Okay, so obviously in the past year to 2 years, the market has genuinely embraced the EV industry. All right, and that includes pumping EV stocks and investing therein. Obviously with Tesla and NIO and the whole fiasco with Nikola and Lucid that is coming up in the ranks. EV stocks are hot right now. They have been hot, and I think they'll continue to do so for years to come. And obviously, Ford needs to up their game. They have been shorted, and they have been suppressed. Obviously, if we look back in the charts and go back to 1 year ago, as you can see, the market did crash. They weren't the only ones but they hit down. They were a penny stock, right? They hit below $5, probably in the $4 range here, and they have just been steadily climbing back to where they have been right around for the last 5 years. All right, so one reason I think this stock is a low risk investment is because they've been around for a long time. They are still top 10 industry in the world, number 2 automotive maker in the US. Okay, so they have imprinted themselves in society. All right, the Ford F-150 is a desired truck. All right, but they have consistently in the last 5 years maintained at least a good level right around $11. Okay, $11 to $12 is where they've managed to stay, and it looks like now they are trying to up their game. Let's look at this article over here. Right here it says Ford makes $29 billion commitment to electric and self-driving cars. All right, the automaker which starts producing the electric F-150 in 2022, announced it will invest heavily in the future of powertrains and mobility through 2025. All right, so they are making moves. It says Ford is joining GM and others in heavily investing in electric and autonomous vehicles to compete with Tesla. All right, so this is recent developments. They had their fourth quarter earnings just a couple weeks ago, and they are honestly making moves, trying to get better, evolve their business to go along with EV. And obviously, they're always going to have a lasting effect on the gas and diesel industry. Those vehicles aren't going away anytime soon, and they are making efforts to get into the EV industry. While Ford is working on its own vehicles, it has also invested $500 million EV startup Rivian. Ford also reminded us that the electric version of its cash cow, the F-150, is slated to go into production in mid-2022. Now you say, why don't I wait till then? Well, honestly, going back into the charts here, when you look at a stock and you are trying to look at a long-term investment or even a short-term, you're looking for a stock that has room to grow, something that is honestly undervalued. And I believe Ford is undervalued. All right, has been undervalued for a couple of years. It doesn't seem to have been as innovative as it needed to be, but I believe that they are making the changes necessary, all right? They are making the changes to be a competitor in the EV industry, and I think they'll do well. I think this stock could easily 2 to 3x. Obviously, we can't expect it to exactly hit its all-time high, which was over 20 years ago, but we can't expect it to grow, all right? Especially if their truck is something that is to be desired and does well. Now, for the short term, let's look at this article. All right, let's look at this article here. Workhorse versus Ford. If you've been following the news at all, we obviously got the results today on who gained the $6 billion USPS contract. Now, this has been a big deal. Both these companies have been working hard, especially in the previous months, to gain an impression on USPS and be able to make an impact through their EV innovations and providing the vehicles for this contract. And it's been pretty big news. Obviously, Workhorse has been a stock that has 20x'd over the last 2 years during the rise of, the EV boom. But they have had their issues, and a lot of people were banking on them winning this contract. But let's see what the results were right over here. As you can see, Workhorse stock plunges after news Oshkosh wins USPS contract. Now, Oshkosh and Ford have agreed to work together on this project. Now, I do not know as to what degree Ford is involved in this deal, but I know that they were in an agreement with Oshkosh corporations to tackle this project. Take a look at a piece of this article from back a year or two ago. Ford Motor Corporation is working with Oshkosh on a bid that could be worth more than $6 billion. At least one prototype of the truck, which is based on Ford's Transit cargo van, was seen undergoing testing in rural Ohio. Look down here. Truck.com photos of the vehicle show that it has the Ford Transit body. With modifications, it also has the same headlamps, taillights Ford used in Transit, as well as similar grille shape and driver cockpit. Ford confirmed that it is working as a supplier to Oshkosh. So to what degree, like I said before, I do not know how involved Ford is on this contract, but they are a part of Oshkosh, and this is a win for them. And obviously, a $6 billion contract is going to benefit them to some degree, depending on how involved they are, whether it's just the body work or helping with the technology. They are involved hand in hand with Oshkosh Corporation, and this is obviously going to help project the price if you're looking for a swing trade. And then going long term, Ford, I believe, is going to have to up their game when it comes to the EV industry, but I think they're going to do it. And I think it's a long-term hold for sure. And here we are back in the charts, looking back on the day. And as you can see, my position there, I'm currently negative, but I'm not worried. This could drop another, this could drop a whole dollar, and I would not sell, honestly. I would average down the best I could. I'm not a professional at this. This is just my speculation and my 2 cents. But perhaps this is a ticker you'd like to add. Obviously, with the uncertainty in the market and the sell-offs and the dips and what's looking like a bear market could be coming upon us, you'll want to get into some long hold positions, good companies that you know are going to come back in this industry, good companies that are going to stick out for the long term. And I believe Ford is one of them for me, which is why I have put my money there. And obviously, you know, if the market crashes tomorrow and I lose a bunch of money, that's okay. We start from the ground up, but until then, I'm going to keep putting my money into good companies like this. Now, obviously, I don't just do long-term holds. I do meme stocks, short-term, swing trades, things like that, options. And if you're interested in those things, consider subscribing to the channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you'll add Ford to your watch list. Let me know if you have any positions in this stock. Thanks for watching. You're on The Informed Trader. I'll catch you in the next video.